Hello and welcome. I am Daniel from Tiger Triangle Technologies. This series will give you a thorough understanding of Open WebUI as we cover topics from basic to advanced. For most topics, I plan to have two videos. One walkthrough tutorial, which will be quick and to the point, explaining the how it's done side of things. And another video that is more of a deep dive that'll explain the what and the why. Along the way, you'll get to know Open WebUI inside out. If you're going to get to know Open WebUI inside out, then you might as well start with understanding their mission. We are at docs.openwebui.com. I'm going to click on Our Mission here in the left menu, and I encourage you to read at least the TLDR portion of a blog post from the founder. And of course, there is a lot more you can read, but at least that'll give you a good feel for what he's wanting to do. He also has a little blurb here at the top, and then it goes into their mission. So let's just look a little bit at this first part. One thing I want to point out that's really important that they are doing is they're democratizing AI. They're putting it within reach of everyone, the ordinary citizen. And they're making it where it's available for everyone to install this free, private, local web UI that you can use on your own computer, your own device. Let's face it, AI is revolutionary. So it really shouldn't be just centralized in the hands of big tech. And so everybody can benefit from having this, training it, using it. Yes, I think that's a worthy goal. I like what they're doing. I started using this quite a long time ago, and I remember seeing the roadmap then, and they had so much stuff on this page that they're going to do. And a lot of that I looked at then is rolled in now into their features. They have accomplished those things, and they have more to come. So it's going to be fun exploring this Open WebUI with you guys for quite a few videos to come. And now that we've looked at that, let's look a little bit more and talk a little more about the prerequisites. And we won't spend too much time on them, but it's important to at least highlight them and let you know just a little more about them. So let's start first of all with Ollama. Now, Ollama is a really important piece of this because Open WebUI is going to utilize that for your local models. And you can use things like OpenAI and other centralized platforms from Open WebUI. That works, but that's one of the reasons why you have Open WebUI. You're going to want to run it locally. So Ollama comes into play. We're on ollama.com here, and you can see you can download and get that relatively easy and get it installed on your system. I have other video series on Ollama, so we won't get into that too much, but I do want to highlight some important things. You want to get familiar with the models, and here is where they have listed all their models. You can sort it by what's popular and newest. You can find out more about them as you click in here, and you can read about them, and you can usually link to where they're at in Hugging Face to see more about it as well. Another important link here is their GitHub. Now on this page you can see some information about Ollama, but where you really can get the most information is in this docs folder right here, and you can explore more of whatever topic you're interested in. So be sure and check that out as well. Within the Open WebUI docs, there is a page titled Starting with Ollama, so you might want to check that out. First of all, it tells about setting up the Ollama connection. And basically, once WebUI is installed and running, it's going to automatically try to connect to Ollama. So if you took Ollama's defaults, it's going to connect, no problem. They do have a troubleshooting guide if it doesn't. There's a way within the UI to manage your Olama instance, which is really nice. Let's talk a little bit about another prerequisite. Docker has a website. Again, we're on Windows 11. You can install Docker Desktop on there. And so when you go to Docker, it will look something like this. And you just download it here. But let's go back into the docs where I was. If you go to support here, there's Docker documentation. So you can find out more. They have a ton of information about this. So you can explore that and dive deeper in that on your own if you want. So I have Docker Desktop open here, and I will tell you that there isn't, not to get too deep in the rabbit hole, but there is also a prerequisite for Docker on Windows. Docker relies on virtualization technology to function. So to run Docker on Windows, hardware-assisted virtualization must be enabled in your BIOS. So that's not difficult to do, but every computer will be, can be a little different. So, but otherwise, pretty easy to get up and running. Let's recap. And to make this stick, let's use an analogy. Open WebUI is your AI dream car. Olama's the engine, providing it with local AI models. Docker's the chassis, keeping setup smooth and stable. Olama's the turbo engine, fueling Open WebUI with powerful AI models, all running locally. Docker's the chassis, locking everything in place for a hassles-free setup, no matter the system. Open WebUI is the car, sleek, intuitive, and ready for you to take the wheel. Next time, the rubber meets the road as we start our installation process and continue learning Open WebUI inside out. Subscribe and let's hit the AI highway together.